Yeah, that's wild.
Half a
Almost
year.
half a year, yeah.
I know, I was just about to say that.
That's terrifying. I feel like we've been here for like a month.
Yeah.
All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Raw U podcast. We have a special guest today, Mr. CG, Christian Guzman.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Welcome to all the way in Stuart, Florida. Don't ask why he's all the way out here, but to see our pretty faces, of course.
100%.
For sure.
Absolutely, yeah. So we're going to just interrogate the shit out of you today.
I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
But what do you think of our little town so far?
I actually love it. It's a lot like Sugar Land, I think. Just kind of outside the city,
Yep.
a little quieter, but you have everything you need. Right?
Yeah.
And it's not, you don't have to like worry about just traffic. I feel like you know how long it's going to take you to get to the gym, how long it's going to take you to get wherever you need to go. And our Airbnb is like 4 minutes away from here, actually.
Oh, really?
I like put in the GPS. I was like, oh, fuck, I ain't ready. 4 minutes away. But yeah, no, it's super nice.
Yeah, no.
I feel like we have that same love of like all of us. Like we like doing what we do, but we like kind of being away from a lot of people and in our own area and our own privacy. And this is like Sugar Land. This is like the perfect
I felt
setup.
that same way when we were in Sugar Land.
Yeah.
Like when we pulled up and I stayed in like the city, and then when I was driving into it, I was like, this reminds me of Stewart. It's like it's close, right? It's like 25, 30 minutes away from pretty much anything you need, but it's like still like you have that like small town vibe.
I feel like the busier you get with everything, you value the time. Like if something takes you 15 minutes, but it could take you 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, I'd rather shave off that time and just like be able to get to what I need to get to.
For sure.
Done, you know what I mean?
And there's like no distraction either.
Exactly.
Like you can give yourself it 20 minutes away, or you can just seclude and just get shit done.
Yeah. Like New York, I can't stand it.
Yeah, no. I mean, I can go for like a day, 2 days, but that's it.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Has this been like, I mean, everything has just been Alphaland. Has this been your first time you've like stepped away from it?
So in 2.5 years, I only left once for like a 5-day vacation to Puerto Rico with Heidi. And then other than that, this is the first trip. So I feel like that it means a lot. You know?
Yeah.
It means a lot.
Has it been nice to get away, or are you like anxious to get back now, or both?
I wouldn't say anxious to get, it's almost like I kind of don't want to go back, you know, just like knowing that, you know, as soon as I get back, there's all these things lined up, but there's also all the work that's kind of getting built up and stuff.
Sure.
So, but it's a little sacrifice you have to make and shift focus to, you know, right now what matters is prep for me. I'm doing a show this year in June and, you know, making badass videos every other day.
Good.
So it's like whatever it takes to do that as good as I can, we do. And then everything else will kind of come secondary.
So are you going to travel more? Is this like a first stop in many?
So until the show, I'm less than 7 weeks out now.
Okay.
So I more so have like a few collabs planned that are coming into
Sure.
town and stuff like that. But on peak week, I'm competing in Dallas. So I'm thinking instead of just going like 2 days before, I think I'm gonna go for like 8-9 days.
That's
and
cool.
Just like Airbnb, get the food, just like leave my phone, you know, and just prep. Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Just prep.
Yeah. After going MIA on YouTube, did you miss that, or was it like?
You know, at first I didn't, because I felt like, you know, I don't want to be the face. I don't want to always have to have that on my back. But after like getting so drawn into the Alphaland process and the work and like the spreadsheets and the just the calls, that it makes you realize like what you'd really enjoy doing versus the stuff that you need to offload.
Yeah.
Because those aren't your strong points,
Sure.
right? And so for me, it actually like it took 2.5 years, but I was itching to get back and itching to actually like dedicate myself to a show and like getting in shape and stuff like that. And it's crazy, but without committing to a show day for me, I just won't.
I
won't.
get it, yeah.
And even with videos, I can't just say I'll do 1 or 2 a week. You know, I have to say like I'm going to do this at this time in order to like hold myself accountable.
Just like super structured.
Yeah, or else I just will kind of you could do 1, you could do 2.
Yeah.
You know, shit, maybe I'll just do 1 this week.
Sure.
There's no fine structure to it.
How far out are you calendared with your videos?
What we're recording this morning is going up tomorrow.
But like, do you have like a preset layout of how far out you're gonna do things in order, or not really?
No.
Just kind of go on the fly.
No, I mean, there's a few like any collab moments. I kind of try to think of a title like, you know, Chris Bum said teaching me how to pose classic physique. Like that could be, you know, one sort of topic. And I would say as long as you have a topic, which I kind of brainstorm anything that comes to mind, I'll kind of write, you know, grocery shopping on a budget, whatever like those kind of titles are.
Sure.
I'll write them down and just try to pick and choose when I want to do those. So I at least have like, the worst thing is to go into a fresh video with no title in mind and no kind of thumbnail concept in mind.
Sure.
Because with that, you're just aimlessly filming. And then it becomes very, very, like, unless you're, you know, insanely looking on your thumbnails and stuff like that, you have to think about those things, like priority. So, yeah.
Have you noticed that doing them like twice a week or every other day has like the views have gone up from that just from being more consistent?
It's like the independent views are lower on the videos, but I will say like the overall engagement, just like the presence overall of all the it just feels more active.
Sure.
So like, and my main thing is I make long videos. They're like between 25 and 40 minutes every time, and it's meant to be like cardio entertainment for everyone doing the summer shreds.
I've noticed that too. Like I feel like everyone who watches our podcast, like the number one comments are like, can't wait to watch this during cardio. Like everyone says that, because
people don't want to be switching videos too many times. They want maybe one video switch during a 35-40 minute session, but really if you can engage with something for that time, it just numbs it, and like it just makes that cardio that easy.
Sure.
You know?
Makes sense.
Yeah. You just said something that reminded me of something you said a while ago, and you're like, I didn't want to be the face of stuff for a while. Yeah. And I remember that's something I've told you guys that like resonated with me so much, like as an influencer and then starting a brand, like I would love for one day for people to know the brand and not me.
Yeah.
And like you're at a different level than me. Your brand is like well established and huge. But was like, was that always your goal from when you started young? Where you're like, I want to start this, create a brand and something that's like not just Christian Guzman. You want it to be like someone to know more than
that's
you.
That's why Alphalete started. To be honest, because like for 3 years, it was the CG Fitness merch. It was, you know, Christian Guzman Fitness, and I had like some Restlator quotes and probably never satisfied and stuff like that. But the point of Alphalete was to think of a way to take all that, like everything that's the Christian Guzman stuff stood for, the meaning behind it, and kind of like the presence of the channel, I guess, and the tone of the channel, and put a name to it so you could almost just like support it from more. And that one change like changed my life, to be honest. Just changing names, really, that changed everything.
Yeah, I think there's probably a good amount of people now who like know who you are, but there's still a lot of people who don't know that you own it now. Like the younger generation.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, they're just like, you know, the girls are like, these are just the best fucking leggings, you know, and it's cool to see. That's like awesome for you to see, right?
Yeah. This is our very first Alphalete launch with the women's apparel. We sold 3 bras. I was literally so pissed. I go, man, I'm going to go hand deliver these myself instead of shipping them. I'm like, because it was only 3. But, yeah, I mean, now we're closer to like 65, 70% women.
That's awesome.
Out of all of our customers and orders and stuff. And so it's, you know, now my focus is like, okay, getting the men's back closer to 50-50. But the women are just like, if you can make a product well and you pay attention, listen, if you like, it's just a huge market.
Isn't it crazy though how like when you went into it, like you didn't anticipate that happening at all, and like now it's the biggest part of your business?
I spend all of my day making leggings. Yeah.
And I feel like that's with a lot of businesses though. I mean, if you look at Shali, like Shali started with belts. Yeah. You know, like people who know Anaka now don't even know that. I bet they're probably like, "What the fuck? Like, I didn't even know this kid made a belt."
It's almost like when doors open throughout a business, like throughout a lifespan. It's like if maybe you try a shirt and merch hits off for you guys or something. It's like, okay, let me venture that direction a little bit more while kind of staying on track with what you want to do. And I think you'll never know where you're going to be in 5 years. You know, and I think with kind of going back to Chris's, with a name as big as yours is now, it's like. I don't think it's going to be a bad thing because you won't be able to eliminate your name, but you will be able to grow to the new customer bases without your name.
Correct.
Right. So then it's going to be a combo of it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the strongest brand that you can really create. Yeah. You know, because that's
agreed.
Well, a strong brand is a lot more than just one person.
Exactly.
Like if I fade away, I want it to be something that's like.
I mean, you've seen brands that do that. You've seen brands that start with one person and they don't evolve or do what you're saying, and they just fall apart after a certain
time. Look at Ghost, for example. Like, but when Ghost first started, it was me. I convinced Max Tuning, and we got the online coach and like the small team. But now Ghost is like so big. Like, I mean, I'm not.
There's
even
no face to anything.
I'm not even topping commission anymore or anything like that. But the brand is just so much bigger than what it was in 2016 when we started.
Yeah, but you have to do that. Yeah, and that's 100%. Where people fail. They just consistently rely on that individual person, and 100%. It doesn't work.
Yeah, on the flip end, you have companies that just base their whole entire philosophy around one bodybuilder, and then
that bodybuilder realizes, you know, I think I'm going to do my own thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is the right and fair. I mean, that's the right.
That's everyone's goal. I mean, I don't hate anyone for doing that. You know, that's where everyone starts. So it's true. It's just cool to see like that you experience the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
When you started all that, did you have a fucking paradise of fitness, like fun factory in mind, the Alphalete, or was this like a later pipe dream?
So, I mean, the very first gym was just literally because I couldn't, well, I've always wanted to do actually group training classes. I want to do like train 20, 25 kids in one class and have like 3 different sections of it, kind of like I did in high school for myself. But that was always the goal, like a small personal training gym, maybe 1,000 square feet. And so the first gym I ever opened was only because I kept getting kicked out of Lifetime. LA Fitness wouldn't let me film. I couldn't film anywhere. And I just got in trouble every time. So I wanted somewhere where I could film and turn the music down and just like have control of that to just make YouTube videos. And I opened up to some friends and memberships and stuff like that. Completely failed as a business, the first gym. But from there, every expansion was almost like, okay, let me get a bigger spot to help with the online coaching business, to maybe do my merch out of and have a gym. And like that kept growing and growing and growing. And eventually now it's like the Alphaland project wasn't intentional to have like this massive, massive property, but it's essentially the same thing. Offices are upstairs, can do my work. Can you go downstairs and work out? Can go and eat at Alpha Eats. Can kind of just like do the same stuff I wanted to do 10 years ago, but at a little bit bigger scale. You know? Yeah.
It's
a little bit bigger.
Well, I mean, it's like it's exactly what you said, though. It's like finding things that cater to your life, right? And if it's catering to your life, it obviously would help other people too.
Exactly.
You just fill the hole.
Yeah, fill in the hole of like say this 18-year-old Chris, the 19-year-old. It's like, where would you want to hang out all day?
Yep.
All right. What environment would you create to satisfy like that dream life?
Yep.
Right. And that's what I tried to kind of.
You
do.
did it.
Yeah.
You definitely did it.
I wouldn't have left Alphalete if I was 19. I would have stayed, showered, the whole deal there.
I feel you. It was probably one of the most incredible places we've ever been.
It was insane.
Yeah.
You know, you're doing something right when random kids are moving to Sugarland.
Yeah.
You know, like no one even knows what that is, and just people are moving there now.
A lot of people are moving.
Yeah, you started that whole influencer trend there,
Yeah.
which is crazy to think about.
It's pretty wild.
Like people who are moving to Sugarland right now probably don't even necessarily know who you are, but you've influenced other people that have moved there, and they're influencing other people to move there. So it's like this huge
Domino
fucking
effect.
tag.
Even employees, man. Like I didn't really realize when we made some of the hires that we did, like social media coordinator and all these positions, but people like literally like drove or flew down for like an interview, like in the shack, like, you know, like to me it's just so, I don't know if anyone's gonna show up to this interview or whatever, but people are literally moving their lives for one opportunity to like be upstairs, which is like crazy.
Yeah,
crazy, just to pack orders and stuff. Like it's insane. So yeah.
What was harder to build, the Alphalete Athletics or Alphaland?
Athletics.
Oh, really? It was?
Yeah. It's on because it doesn't end.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't end, and you can never be perfect.
Yeah.
And it's like you can only. Yeah, I would say like that to this moment, Alphalete's the biggest like headache for sure.
At one point when you went through that, and this is like a question because I'm actually asking for us, like we consistently like have got like we just moved into this warehouse, right? And obviously you saw it's like blowing out. Yeah. So like, do you think like was there a point where you were like, fuck it, like I'm just gonna go all the way here?
100%. And I think y'all are at that point.
Yeah.
Because I think like even if there's 40,000, right?
Yeah, 30.
So from the amount of jumps I had to do, I wish I would have just done a bigger jump.
And just taking a hit for a little bit.
And just taking a hit for a little bit because you're going to fill it out quicker than you think.
Oh, I fucking know
like,
it, yeah.
Like I would at least, if you, logically you're thinking like, okay, let's go 2.5 times.
I should probably go more
I would
than
go
that.
4.
Yeah.
4 times. And just to allow yourself the space and relieve the headache of like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to break this lease, or I'm gonna have the space, or I'm gonna like just
move everything.
Just pay the rent. Pay the rent. And
when did we move here? In August?
We haven't been here for.
I was gonna say
there's no space.
I was trying to think. I mean, it was the summer.
8 months
It was
ago.
hot.
Yeah. We did that shit.
It's always hot.
We did that shit with
hotter.
fucking rented U-Haul trucks.
Yeah.
Me, Matt, and our guys.
Rented
we did
from Habib.
We rented 2 U-Haul trucks, and we were just going back to back.
Yeah, we did. We did.
You did the U-Hauls.
But you're not going to need those.
Yeah.
But that legroom you saw, that's where we were before.
That's insane.
Insane.
Like
insane.
And that was bigger than our first warehouse too. Like just that one room.
Yeah. I mean, our first warehouse was actually like smaller. It was like 1,300 square feet.
Oh, the little one by the coffee
like
shop.
that
Yeah.
size.
It was small, and then like it's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, I felt I'd go like 125, 150.
Yeah.
1,000 square feet.
That in Florida
our
is
180,000 square foot warehouse is packed right now.
Yeah. That's insane.
And I mean, I don't want it to be that packed. I want to sell these, move a lot of that inventory. But
how many employees do you have operating that facility on a daily basis?
That facility is like 60 to 70
people.
Yeah, we have 210 on payroll right now.
And how many of those people are like packing versus like overseeing versus inventory?
About 5 overseeing, mainly between packing, returns.
Yeah.
We do like 60-day returns.
Yeah.
And so women specifically like to buy a lot of shit and return a lot if they don't really love it.
It's like try on.
It's like hundreds of return.
No shit.
Oh, every day. hundreds, and it all works out because I mean nothing like you leave the tags on and you keep it
Sure.
but it's still just like that's a lot of processing we have to do for returns and exchanges and stuff like that.
Sure.
So and then just to get back on the right inventory, like it's a whole system.
Yeah.
So I'd say like 30-40 packing, about 7 to 10 returns,
Sure.
and then rest management.
Got it.
Floor managers and stuff.
It's just right now in Florida, I don't even think we could do. We'd have to go out of state for that.
Yeah, or outsource. If you can build a relationship with outsourcing, like that, you kind of have to wonder: is this a part of the business we benefit from holding ourselves? Like supplements, if you don't, we have 10,000 SKUs on our site.
Yeah,
and we have all these SKUs. We have so many little things we need to always go back and like open and check and this and that. If you have a more like fault-proof system or product, it's like you may be way better off just like literally putting it, in a central location and having 3 different shipping facilities.
No, for sure.
Like
no,
100%.
Yeah.
It all depends on the business.
Gone back and changed that, or do you like the way you did it? Like having it all in house.
I think with the clothing, with the amount of like different pieces we make and stuff, like we had to have it in house for a bit, but now outsourcing is 100. Like we need to look at a system that's going to be automated that is going to save money and more so than that, just take the stress off. Sure. Because it's like that it is a huge, like when we have Black Friday, it's just like all hands on deck for like 2-3 weeks, and it's just like that's
what scares me the most.
I want to be able to push and not worry about if we can fulfill.
And do you think like those people guarantee those expectations?
They're gonna if we're gonna do it. Yeah,
because that's what scares me. It's like if we have a Black Friday and then we're like, if I have triple the staff back there working fucking 2 shifts. It's like, are they gonna do the same thing?
No, they won't.
Exactly.
And that's a battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you get lucky and build a relationship.
It don't matter, bro. I mean, and it's nice to have like the damage control of being able to walk there and be like, hey, like this guy's this, or
help me with this, or put this in this. That's you lose that
Or
personal
if you want to do free stickers this time,
exactly.
It's like just something like that. There's the process that you have to go through. Right?
Even like with T-shirts, like like what just happened with the T-shirts on the last drop. Like there were less T-shirts. Like they weren't counted properly on the T-shirt side. So when the orders left, like they ran out of T-shirts. So at that point, like, what do? Like, we held the order, and then we, like, made the shirts quick, put them in, and, like, it worked out. Yeah. But, like, if it was up there, who the fuck knows what would have happened? Yeah. Would have been all refunded, probably.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. He was laughing. I was back there. He was looking at the T-shirts. He's like, wow, so you just print the shirt and then you get it. Yeah. You wait, what, 6 months?
No, way longer. Like, from scratch to finished product, it'll range from, let's say, like, 10 months to 16 months.
Shit.
What if it was like a reorder? Do you ever
if it's so we don't remake anything twice, unless like other than like a select like 4 or 5 items that are black colorways, like we won't remake anything twice. And anytime we like it's just performance tees are like the only thing that it'll just be different colors, different graphics, right? So those will be like a 8 to 10 month turnaround. Yeah. But because we're trying to ship C and save the $1.50, almost $2 cost it is now to do it on a shirt, which is insane. Yeah. But yeah, normally we're over a year for development, from deposit to shipping.
That's like a blessing and a curse, though, because like at the same time it allows you to plan so far ahead that like you're always ahead of yourself.
But you need data. You need like if we launch. So for example, if something's like in the pipeline of a 12-month pipeline,
you're bigger.
And when we do 2 launches, and I get this data. Oh shit! This tone, this shade of brown is gonna be our number 1 seller. Like, fuck. Like, let me see if I can do anything to go and adjust this order that's already placed. Yeah. Maybe I can allocate more to this. And you want to make it as efficient as possible. You can't on the time frame that long. Like,
it's hard to forecast that far ahead.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I mean, you can't even forecast month to month right now.
It's like you like gambling, because it's like you're literally putting this and that collection here on this color, like, and it's not, I'm not guessing, but it's,
I mean, kind of,
because
like look at you, like you just did that. You had your T-shirt drop, you increased your order by what, 30% this time. Yeah, you sold out in 7 minutes, and everyone thinks you're an asshole. Yeah, but like you did do what you were supposed to do. You forecasted 30% more for this drop, and it still sold out. Imagine doing that a year from now.
We kind of knew it was going to be more, but
imagine
we were
doing that a year
we could
ahead.
Make that fast. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could be selling 150,000 shirts at that point, and then you have 12,000 shirts.
Or it could just slow down.
Or it could do the opposite. You stick with inventory.
One thing that I'm for some reason just now realizing that like the best data you can get to be real time, Instagram polls. It's like, do you guys like this or that one? Like literally as simple, if I post our 3 new colorways and I'm debating on ordering, even if it's like not launching for 7 months, hey guys, what color is your favorite? 40% that one, 30, got it.
Yeah.
It's like, and then I'll take those and I'll input into our actual order. And so, like, so I've been doing a lot of that recently. That's like major.
No,
key.
for sure.
Like
I
just
agree.
Like literally asking them, girls, you want a 5-inch or 6-inch or 7-inch inseam? And then based off the split, you can do all 3, but you order your quantities based
percentage
off
wise.
that.
We just started doing that with supplements. Like, what do you guys want to see next? And like people just tell us, and it's like, this is fucking great.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's so simple, and like I think a lot of companies are, and I mean us too. We've been just kind of like you want to keep everything secret and not show too much. Like, but it's almost like the more everything's evolving, the more you can incorporate people's opinion and thought into your decision.
Yeah,
the more they're going to support.
Yeah,
it's insane.
just more
It's so simple. Yeah, it's just like this, like the simple, honest, like factor of this is what we're doing. What do y'all want? What do y'all want? Do you want that design or that graphic? That or that? You can
more people can feel like they're a part of it now.
Of course.
and it helps. It's a win-win.
Yeah,
it's like a life lesson right there, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
it's true.
Ask the people what they want.
Yeah.
And I feel like for myself too, every time I'm like, well, I wouldn't want that. I'm like, well, I'm different than most people.
Yeah.
So like, fuck what
I just want a black T-shirt and nice joggers.
Yeah.
For me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's all I'm gonna wear. Like, so, but yeah, opening it up is like a major thing that we're doing now that helps a lot.
That's smart. I like that.
And I like doing on my, even like to kind of do some on Alphalete, but I do a lot on my own, just like on my personal page, just to kind of get different. And they actually do change. If I ask the same question on Alphalete versus on mine, it will be a slightly different response each
Really?
time.
Have you ever gotten like total opposites before?
Not total opposites, but there's variance and stuff. But I don't know. I guess I feel more comfortable doing it a lot more on my personal than I do on Alphalete, because I think there has to be some sort of professionalism that you keep with a company.
Of course, yeah.
But like I think that's the beauty of having like influencer and even like bringing our athletes down, having them try out collections that we're debating on bringing out a year and a half from now, like, and kind of sharing that on platforms without spoiling what's coming in the next few months.
So how early do you start? Like, let's say you have an idea of a shirt or a new pair of joggers or whatever it is. From the time you think of it to the time it comes out, how long does that take?
Like 2 years.
Okay, but like that's a huge lesson in a lot, because a lot of people,
not every item, but it's like a majority of our items.
Because I think most people have no clue that's how long that takes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, there's so much that goes into it. That's so much more than anyone sees.
I mean, how many times do you sample? Would you
on average like 7 to 11 times?
Yeah,
before it's perfect.
Yeah, and it's never perfect, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get feedback, and then we'll adjust it again if we ever want to reorder something similar.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Was that like your?
I'm also nitpicky as like I'm probably the most. I don't want to say OCD, but I am very, very observant.
Okay.
Like the shelf on the left over here, how it's not centered with the skateboard.
I know.
You see that?
Yeah.
Like shit like that. Like I notice everything.
I know.
I'm like so picky.
It was until my painter just painted the bottom black, but I hear you.
Like I'm OCD like crazy. Like
Sure.
If I see a pair, or if I'm wearing something and I look at myself, I just like nitpick it all.
Yeah.
Which is like almost obsessive at a point, but I think
that's good, man. I mean, that's what makes your company successful.
Yeah, and I order a lot of samples. Like if I like something from any brand, I'll order it.
Yeah.
I don't care what it costs. I just want to order it, and we can always return it at. But like just to like see why the hell can they charge fucking $200 for this? And I like to, but I want to know if there is something better. I want to know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like R&D that's our R&D department.
Yeah.
You on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Is that like what you would say when you started was your thing that was going to separate you? Because obviously there's a bunch of fitness brands, and then there was like Gymshark, which was kind of quality, wasn't really excelling in any way. With your thing, like you're going to come in and do it right, do it like.
So I saw.
Pristine?
I mean, I
like,
was with Gymshark
separate
like
you?
years, for a few years, but like 20. That was like the first entry for me to get traveling and kind of like seeing the world and shit. It's like I'm forever grateful for Ben and Lewis and Dan, like that whole team and like the whole experience. And right when we did our first few Expos, I had this Alphalete brand. I'm working like this is like there's some logo concepts and stuff, and I want to do because at the time those shirts were better than what we could get here locally, and it just. Yeah, like to not go too much into all of that, but pretty much like what really ignited it was I kept going to Zara. I kept going to Zara and buying the same like white or black T-shirts that were just like ripping after a few washes, or maybe the tags were this, or they were shrinking too much, or like whatever it was. I was paying $35 for a T-shirt, and it wouldn't last more than 4 washes, right? And so I wanted to make a quality like Gymshark material, nice and cold feeling, but in a fit like Zara. elongated, kind of nice on the arms with like some good rolls, but that would last for forever, right? With in like double binding, so you didn't have like the little net
roll.
kind of doing that. Yeah, the roll.
Worst.
Yeah, the worst
thing ever.
Like just nitpicking.
Yeah.
I like this from that company. I don't like this from that company, but I like the fit of that. So kind of like creating a hybrid of a piece or an item that is what you want to wear, right? Like I think that's all it comes down to. You know?
Yeah, I feel like that's very different right now because the fast fashion is like the thing.
Yeah.
Like they purposefully make it so that you can only wash it a few times and then you have to go buy another one. Like you just kept going back and buying more.
Yeah.
So like they sold 4 T-shirts.
But I don't
instead
even
of
know
one.
if it necessarily you wanted to. You just had to because you like the fit of it, right?
I just had to, yeah, because I like the fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like everything fits me really short.
I mean, Fashion Nova pioneered this whole thing.
Yeah.
They
they're
pioneered
killing
this
it.
whole entire.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They're killing because they're at the price point where you accept. I accept I'll just wear it
Yeah,
twice.
Yeah. And,
And
you
it's
can
like-
finance it over 12 months.
Yeah.
It's
Which
also
is
like
ridiculous.
our culture right now.
Yeah,
The
it's like-
society is very like, I like this now, I don't like it tomorrow.
Well, and
Even
they,
furniture,
I mean,
That's
not
what I was
to-
gonna say. Even with the projections of it taking 2 years start to finish, is that hard because styles changing like so
It's
much?
extremely hard. And so like that's why we'll really like kind of pick our main 3 fabric collections we'll do for the year. And like ideally the T-shirts and all that, like I'm trying to source some local stuff so I can get quicker turnaround times for some things like our tees, graphic tees and things. Just like, or else you're just stuck with very staple sort of like never go out of style designs, but you're not getting the full hype of, you know,
What's
being
hot right
on-
there.
yeah, what's
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I feel like that's what Fashion Nova did. They took like Versace and all like the the trendy shit and just like made it cheap and affordable.
There's a show on Hulu. It's one of those brands. It's not like Opoly. It's like one of the it's one of the fast fashion brands.
yeah.
You just see like literally. I mean, their whole team is just on Instagram, like looking for what the celebrities are wearing.
Yeah.
Boom. Screenshot. Let's try to get something in production within 4 weeks. It's like I mean, it works, man. It's just that's not the model that I like. Like if I'm going to go buy furniture for my building, I'm going to go to Restoration Hardware,
100%.
because I want it to last
And it's timeless.
and it's timeless.
Restoration Harbor Furniture is going to be dope 20 years from now.
Exactly. I'd rather make and I've always felt that way about my clothes too.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to fucking go buy a new tank top every month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or a
Agreed.
new tee every month
Yep.
because it doesn't fit anymore. It's like I just want to buy. I'd rather pay 2-3x and get a good one.
Yep.
You know?
I couldn't agree more.
But you know, if that's not the mentality or that you have, then don't buy Outfleet.
Yeah, and unfortunately there are people who just plain out can't afford it.
Yeah.
There's people, and that's like that Fashion Nova, other fitness brand
Yeah.
company that's what they're going to do no matter what. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what you make, how good it is. They just can't afford it.
And neither business model is wrong.
No, they're both
all.
great business models.
100%.
You're appealing to two totally different demographics.
100%.
Yeah, and they both can thrive at the same time.
100%.
Yeah, no, I agree 100% too. It's crazy.
I mean, I shop from both. I'll see like a cool Fashion Nova sweater and be like, wow, it's cheap. Like, I'll wear that to the gym a few times and it'll probably be
Yeah.
fucked, but like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then when I buy something nice, that'll last me like an Essentials T-shirt I've had for 4 years,
Yeah.
Like, it's both.
Yeah. Essentials quality is kind of going down though. Their last drop, bro, is shit.
I think the-
It looked great.
I think the
marketing is
Fear of
sick.
God is worse than Essentials.
Really?
I have a Fear of God T-shirt that I bought, which I think it was like 5 times as much as Essentials.
Yeah.
It's like $500 or something. Fucking thing, like it's horrible.
It's the same material. Like,
Yeah.
they're switching to the same materials.
It's trash.
The original, they had like an original like polyester cotton blend that was so soft with like the rubber like applique on
Yeah,
it.
like that's
That's
2-3 years ago.
I've
that
had,
shit was
I have
good.
2 of those that from 4 years ago that are in great condition.
Yeah.
And then I bought a new T-shirt that's just like cotton and it just like looks shit
Terrible.
already.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
And I think when you transition to that sort of like, it's noticeable.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
and like that's where
And
you
you're
gotta-
paying. Like that shit ain't cheap.
No.
Yeah.
So
And that's
when-
when people get pissed, and that's when you lose
Exactly.
customers again.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. Like the new Root shirts are not as nice as the old Root shirts.
I'm an Amiri guy.
Yeah,
I
are you?
love Amiri.
I love
But
Amiris,
I mean,
yeah.
that might be just they can't source
trash.
it. Like
they don't even fit the same though.
yeah,
like, the
I know.
necks are
I'm just-
fucked.
Yeah.
And I like
And because
love
we're on
Root.
YouTube, it's like, man, if your neck is fucked and it wasn't fucked on the last shirt,
Oh,
it's
you're
like,
gonna hear about it.
You're gonna hear it, and that video is gonna get 300,000 views.
Yeah.
It's like that's what it's a blessing and a curse. That's what blew up the women's
Yeah.
for us. Like, is the honest reviews. But when we fuck up, we fuck up.
Sure.
And no one
but
will buy
owning
it.
a fuck up is also really important too, and
100%.
it helps
Yeah.
sometimes, right? Like I think when Rude went and he became the creative director of Bally's. Remember that?
Yeah.
So like I think when he left, because he doesn't even live in America anymore, he's like
Yeah.
overseas somewhere, and that's when all the shit started to get different. I don't know. It's just like coincidence or whatever it is, but I haven't bought a new shirt since.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Short
Well,
sizing.
it's
Short sizing is different this year versus last year too.
Yeah, your fucking joggers.
Yeah, they're all.
Yeah.
They're tight.
But that's a lot of brands, bro. Like, have you ever the Balenciaga? I'm
Okay,
a small
Balenciaga
and a
does it
large.
on purpose, though.
Yeah, that's just like
I can't even order online because you buy like a T-shirt and you're like, bet this fits. What size is it? This is a small. I'm
Yeah.
like,
unisex,
Excuse me?
one size fits all.
Yeah. Melissa ordered a one size fits all jacket, and it fits Ian.
it's crazy.
Like he's 300
Yeah,
pounds, and
it's
it
like-
fits him.
what?
Like who is that? Who else is that ever?
well,
supposed to
technically, it
fit?
does fit everyone then.
It fits her too. She wears it. They both wear it. So yeah.
Yeah.
But it's wild.
Yeah, it's just that
They
company.
do that. That's their style.
That is the only company that I would say is
They
like
do it right.
absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't buy anything online. You have to go to the store.
Craziness.
yeah. What else we got?
I don't know.
What's your next big project? You want to talk about that or? No, you don't. Sorry, I lied.
So, yeah, we'll leave it a secret. It's gonna be. It's gonna be the biggest.
It's dope.
There's something.
The next project is the biggest one, and that's the exciting part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest one that with the most potential and the most. Now that I have I've kind of fucked up in every way possible. I have a more clear roadmap, and I think I know this is going to be the one that is going to stand out and just be like.
Yeah, and like what you told me yesterday too. Like this is like your passion project.
Yeah,
right.
this one
Like,
is, yeah.
which is dope.
Yeah. So
It's always the most exciting.
fall of this year.
And successful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever you like, and I feel like you know that whenever you just like don't care about like money and growth and you're just doing something you're excited about making it good.
Yeah.
That's when it works.
And there's no
best.
pressure.
Yeah, there's no pressure.
It's
Yeah.
just like I'm gonna do this because this is what I love.
Yeah.
You know, it's different when you're starting a brand from scratch and you got to fucking make money. You have to,
Grind,
you have to pay bills.
Yeah.
This is like I can take my time. I can do it right. Like I can, get every fucking kink worked out
It's been
before I
6
start.
years been working already.
Yeah.
The 6 year. I bought the domain 5.5 years ago,
There you go.
and it's like so it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember being when I was down
The
there
first
3 or
time.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
And you like brought it up. And
Yeah.
then I just like forgot about it. And then I heard about it last week when
Yeah.
I came
And
down.
now
it
the
sounded
retail
like
store
shit.
is like there, and it's
I saw the retail store with the
Yeah.
curtain in front of it, right? Yeah.
It's gonna be exciting, man.
So avoid that.
Well, and then the gym expansions like that. I'm super excited for that too. Like making Alphaland, obviously like fine tune and shit, but like there's like three exciting.
Are you
projects.
gonna do like if you do more of them? Are they gonna all be?
There'll be Alphalete gyms. There'll be
Okay.
Alphalete gym, but they'll still have the retail aspect.
But is it gonna have like both, like the inside, outside?
No.
Like it's gonna be one.
So there'll only be
gym.
one Alphaland ever, which will
Okay.
be the one location in
Okay.
Sugarland. But then all the other locations will be, I'd say, between minimum 17,000, like 16.
So like boutique style. That's like your boutique gym, right?
Yeah, it'd be like this a single gym.
Sure.
16 to 30,000 square
Sure.
foot locations is kind of posted up
Yeah.
around the world.
So no, you're not gonna have like basketball courts and all that. It's just gonna be like super high end inside.
It's a good question. It's a good question because I think the we can make the environment with 20 to 30,000 square feet.
Yeah.
We can make everything that we need with 20
Sure.
to 30. And so I think that kind of refining like because there's a lot of wasted space, man. I mean, we didn't.
Sure.
That wasn't like an intentional purchase with like
Sure.
the three.
Well, it was a building that was already there.
It was a building
You could
that
only
was
do
there.
so much to a building that isn't built specifically for you.
Exactly. It's just go
Yeah.
over the top with it.
Sure.
But I think when we like bring it and condense it, it's like, especially with the like we have to have like literally 12 flat benches because we need a few in each gym because they
Sure.
get used. Right. So, but it's like bringing the traffic down allows you to get just more focused with it. But I think that's it should be so exciting to build out.
So are those going to be like more intimate, like capped membership style gyms?
I wouldn't say I would say it's going to be more like the Alphalete gym that we were just at, where
Yeah.
we had like 15 to 2,000 members, but kind of bringing in the Alphalete environment in different areas will just
Sure.
be like instead of doing real estate with apartments or whatever Airbnb, like I'm going to do that,
Sure.
and just build out locations,
Yeah. Super smart.
and then just go, sounds fun.
And one thing that was really cool that we talked about yesterday too was like you said that like your demographic for Alphalete, like the biggest part of that isn't even where you are. So like as busy as Sugarland was when we were there, like that's not even where his like the most of his traffic comes from.
California, Florida, New York,
Yeah.
Ohio, UK, Canada.
So like imagine going into places that are like, I mean, I couldn't even imagine. That place was fucking packed.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there was an Alphalete gym in like Toronto,
No, that's where I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
One in Toronto, one in Vancouver.
there's like no good gyms around there.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Pure.
And it's
But-
interesting, like we did
Different
like
demographic.
we would do these
farther outside.
like tours where we would just take the Alphalete team and go to these spots, and like depending on the responses where we got there,
You
like
knew.
some cities are like Chicago's insane, it's crazy, right? And so like those that kind of and the number of things, when are you bringing Jim? It's like, oh, maybe one day, but it's like no, it could be
Yeah.
a realistic thing if we just make it a priority.
That's like when we did Revive franchises now, every fucking time I post about a new medical franchise, kids are like, oh, is there going to be a gym? And I'm like, no, like,
Yeah.
absolutely not, because it's just, we're not there yet with that.
Yeah.
You know, the clinics are just my main priority. But it's funny because there's lacking good gyms.
Yeah.
You know, no one, I think since COVID hit, and I don't know, I could be totally wrong, but like the big box, like Gold's Gym, LA Fitness, like they're not what they used to be.
Yeah.
You know, people want like the quality, they want like the cleanliness, and they'll pay whatever it costs to be in that type of an environment.
Yeah. And the whole fitness scene, the health scene is just going, I mean, it's only going to continue skyrocketing.
Yeah.
It's like there's no way to go but up. And if you make people feel confident, if you make people feel secure that they're, you know, they're on top of their health through like supplementation or through, and if you get, you know, allowed, you know, clothing purchase to make them feel good in the gym too. Yeah. You know, you fucking like my outfit today, I'm going to have a better workout than if I look like shit going into the gym.
Yep.
It's just a fact. It's like, I think the industry is just unstoppable.
I agree.
Yeah, because it has to be. Like,
yeah.
No, people will always want to be healthy.
They always want to. Yeah, they always want to look good.
Yeah, right? Especially right now in the age of social media,
yeah,
how vain everyone's becoming. Yeah, everyone wants to look real good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just gotta limit the amount of shirts off in all the gyms. You know, it's getting worse.
And tripods.
Yeah, tripping hazards, man. Yeah, now it's like tripping hazards in every dumbbell section. Oh my gosh, like
yeah. And they're like, sometimes they put them like far away. Like they're like, I'm like, whose is this? Like, who's using this one?
I can't even get mad about this. Sometimes I'll walk through Revive and they'll be like, walking in, I'll be like, and I don't want to get in someone's video, so I'm just like standing there waiting. Yeah. And then every other time I walk by, and I'm like, and I just get put my face right up to the video. A little cameo.
That's awesome.
See if they even notice.
Yeah.
So if you care to share or not, what would you say was your biggest fuck up?
Biggest fuck up?
Like most traumatic experience in your business life?
The Alphaland build.
Just the whole build?
Well, the whole build, it was like, I went into such a project. I only asked for $1 million, but like paid $8.5 million for the building, and I only asked for $1 million in renovation. So not $9.5 million, right? But I ended up in total, the whole project was going to be 9.5, ended up being like 21, 22.
Yeah.
So it's like all the rest is out of pocket.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have a set plan going in. And as things were evolving, just like the clothing, I wanted to make adjustments.
Change it. Yeah.
And just that process, like we would build up the whole second floor and first, tore it all back down.
Yeah.
Because we did it wrong.
But it's also annoying too, because like a contractor will be like, well, do you want this or do you want this? And it's like, well, this one's way fucking cooler. Like obviously I want this one. And it's like, now that you showed it to me, like I can't even look at this one anymore.
And the hardest part was finding I actually fired our first contractor.
Yeah.
Because it was way too difficult to do any sort of change.
Yeah.
But then when I met Anthony, my current project manager and contract, like he said, anything we want done, he could see, he knew where we wanted to go with the brand.
Yeah.
He knew we wanted to elevate it. And so there's a way to do anything.
Sure.
But laying out the path it's going to take to get there, the cost it's going to take to get there, and comparing it to an alternative, that's what I like.
Yep.
I like being clear, black and white. Like this is option A, B.
Sure.
If you want to go C, we can. It's going to put you in this realm though.
Yep.
And then you can make your own decisions, right?
Yeah,
but anything
that,
is possible.
Yeah.
If we build a wall up, we can take it down.
Yep.
It's time, it's money, and it's labor, and it's sheetrock.
Yep.
You know, so, but I don't regret any like it's done right now.
Yeah.
And I don't have to worry about it, right?
Yep.
And now it's going to revenue more than 2x what I thought first year, which is like fucking mind blowing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Dude, I mean,
That's awesome.
I wouldn't have expected anything less.
Yeah.
And you've done something that no one's done.
Yeah.
You don't know because there's never been anything to compare it to. What do you compare that to?
I was comparing to old gym numbers, and then
it's not a gym.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's a fucking like destination. It's like Disney for kids that like to work out.
Yeah.
You know, you're not.
But they
you're
go
not
there and they don't even work out sometimes. I mean, they're literally hanging out. Like you can't.
It's the only gym you can
that.
go into and spend an easy $1,000 without even realizing it. You know, like you go in, you buy clothes, you go to get food, you work out. Like by the time you leave, you're like, fuck. Like it's easy to do.
Yeah.
You know, which is awesome.
Hell yeah.
Crazy.
It's really cool.
But yeah, I think that shit pushed me, man. Like I fucked up. The worst fuck up was not just the money, but it was like I didn't have a team really around me like enough to where I was just killing my body, man. Like,
Yeah.
And those are dark. Like those are some 12 months in, 14 months in. Like it was a sleep schedule that I would not ever tell anybody to even think about putting yourself through. Like I felt like a fucking like corpse.
But if you're not there, shit doesn't go right.
And the way we were doing our design with people 8 hours ahead, like the only way to get the clothing to continue and the funds to continue for the clothing growth and for the project was to do nights working on Alphalete during day would be mainly Alphalete, but I'd be able to be on site to go and do whatever I needed to do, which I probably spent 2 to 3 hours a day working Alphaland, everything else Alphalete, because we were in such a pivotal like growth point, which just now we're going to start seeing all the work I did in that time frame. It's going to start hitting this year, like this summer, this fall, and just kind of finally start like coming to fruition, which is like, that's not a result of what we're doing now. That's a result of what happened 2 years ago. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was a hard part.
Sure.
Negotiations with like, retail, all that was happening during all of that time frame.
Yeah.
So, all right, fucking jump in the shower, like literally just like at the office.
Yeah.
Kind of, tap up and good to go.
Yeah.
Fresh outfit, new day. Like, yeah.
No sleep, just a new outfit.
New outfit.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I feel like that's their biggest thing that people like need to like learn is like how long everything takes to.
Yeah, it's not instant gratification
to even do, and then to even get the reward from.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, if there's one thing that you could drill into people's heads is like that, but it doesn't matter because they don't listen to it.
Yeah, and when you get the reward, you realize that you have to enjoy what you're doing, because it's like a reward's a reward.
You reward, and you're like, okay, what's next?
Yeah, it's like money's money.
Yeah,
got it.
Exactly.
Now what? So you have to have a higher purpose with it. I think you have to just more so enjoy it, or find what part you enjoy and what parts you don't enjoy, and try to minimize the parts you don't enjoy. That's like that's the process I'm in right now.
Yeah,
minimizing the parts I don't want to be dealing with and trying to allocate those.
Well, not to mention, like, if you don't like doing it, you're probably not the best at it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I can tell you right now, I hate certain things, and like if I hate it, I know I'm not good at it, and there's someone who's way better at doing it than me.
Yep. So but it takes time to find that person.
For sure.
And that's a challenge, right?
Yep.
People are always a challenge.
What part do you enjoy most, Chris? Like coming into Raw and making the whole change and like coming onto this, like what part do you enjoy the most, and what part is kind of like maybe a new sort of stress to you? I'm curious.
I mean, we have such a team of people like Dom and Matt and everyone, Scott, Calvin now here handling so much shit. I think I've done a great job at allowing people to take roles into what they're great at, but I just enjoy being like deeper involved in like the company and knowing what's happening, making some decisions. So like as it's growing and stuff is like when those rewards starts to come, you like remember like when you made the decisions and everything that led up to that made that happen. You're like, fuck, like we all came together to make that happen.
Did that.
Instead of like normally it would be like someone would be like, oh, Chris, this is dropping tomorrow at noon, like make a post.
Yeah.
And then I do it, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
I
think you've taken a huge handle on the creative for sure. As far as like clothing,
the vision.
I like the idea of how a brand is like. When you think of a brand, like what do you see in your mind and like feel with that?
What's crazy is I told him this when we were at Alphaland, like leaving, but he was closing out a video, and he what he does so well from my perspective is like he'll always he's the voice, and the fact that like any critiques or anything that kind of came in or like this happened, like you say what happened, and then you say what you're doing to fix it. And that there's gonna be something like how you kind of take the info that you get, and you're good at like almost just verbalizing it. So it's not just like under the rug. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think that's like so
connecting with the customer.
You're listening, you're involved, and though you may not be filming that involvement part, like you can tell that you're in it now.
Connecting with the customer is the best thing he did. Like when he first came on board, I think, what was it, a weekend?
Like dropping the pre-work. Like
that was it. Like literally a weekend. He was like, bro, we need to drop our prices on these products. Like, and then we were like, fuck, we went back to it. We're like, is it possible? Can we do it? And we were like, whatever, we'll do it. And then like that resonates so well with our following, right? They're like, fuck, they're actually listening. Like, so that's one thing we started to do. And like people wanted
even
more
he came in right away and, said that he wanted to do these meetups, and it took months. And then we did the first one with you. It's crazy. Like, to see that come to fruition and to see, like, it's cool. It's really cool to sit back and watch that.
And we decided to take like a chunk of our marketing budget and dedicate it strictly to stuff like that. Like not ad spend, not this, not that, but just take it like doing a car giveaway. Yeah. Giving back to each individual person with these meetups, and it's been the best thing we ever did.
Yeah. I feel like that's something that you probably experienced too. When you're like on the business side and like you're connecting with your customers more than any typical CEO would. Yeah. You see so much, you see in such a different light that allows you to like bring things out a lot differently that someone couldn't if they were just behind the books, behind a computer all day.
100%. And it makes you just care that much more too.
Yeah.
Because you ultimately, like the number one thing you can't let the people that watch and everything and support, can't let them down, right? Like no matter what, whether it be product or how you're like, voicing something or what you're standing behind, you just can't let them down.
Yeah.
So that's like the unanimous company, like we got to make the best shit we can and get it to them as quick as we can in the best way. And Scott, we have to believe it's the best out there.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very personal. Yeah. Like you fuck up and it's like Chris fucked up.
Yeah, bro.
Christian fucked up.
All right, guys, we fucked up. Let me just walk you through this.
It's also different, like building a brand on social media, because like they also have the ability to connect to you like that. Like the CEO of fucking Apple, you can't get shit talked to him on Instagram. Yeah. You know, it's like it's very the way we've built our brand is based off of that. So like they feel that they can do that, which they should. But it is it's a totally different
accessibility is completely different. Yeah.
So
what would you say to us as a younger company, advice that you could give us? Maybe outside of like the building projection, but something else that you maybe went through, or a problem that you have on a daily basis now that can kind of help us going forward.
I think that the strong, like what I see y'all's strength is just, I didn't realize y'all were so new, first off, but like seeing that you have the team here, that like I feel everyone here on this team has a very distinct big picture responsibility, right? Like creative, you have essentially marketing, you have essentially the back end, all like you have everything has a building out the teams more is going to be build it out quicker than you never think you need to hire too much, and you don't want to over hire people and things like that, but start allocating like and writing down responsibilities and almost getting super like nitpicky with this. I expect this to be done twice a week on this time, just the tasks like that, to kind of start automating a lot of those things, because or else they'll become headaches. Because eventually when you have a core team of like 5 to 7 people that are in a brand, like a lot of hats start getting worn. Everyone's wearing 2 to 3, 4 hats, and that will burn people out. Things will scale, like the balance of, I feel like I'm doing more than this, or things will start weighing this way, and it starts to build up this like, just get everything on paper, man. Like this is my responsibility. This is what I'm doing. I have who reports to who, like that kind of deal, like within the teams. And I think that's just like something I wish I would have like started doing earlier, because like it just causes so much headache, and people, for me now, people are the biggest problem.
Yeah, so agreed.
Emotion, people are like, you can never be on top of it.
Yeah,
just building out, which it seems like you have history of that.
Well, it's really funny you said that, because like this weekend I had to build an organizational chart for my franchise company, right? And I was doing it, and I was like, I'm going to build one for Raw and Revive, and I sent it to you. I don't know if you saw it yet. It's in your email.
It came. It's like it didn't come from him.
It came from like
I missed
app.
it too.
You found it, or did
no?
You
I haven't
so,
seen it yet.
And like the cool thing is, you're totally right, because when I was building it, like when you actually visually see the org chart falling, really it makes you see like, fuck, this one dude's doing all this shit. Yeah. Like we need another person here to take that off of him. Yeah. And like I did do that, and I looked at it, and I was like, we need someone here now, like yesterday. Yeah. You know, and I told you that this morning.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right, man. That was like the best thing I did, because like high level looking at something and understanding like who's reporting to who, and like, and the cool thing is like this org chart like company that builds them, like it actually adds like all the data of each individual person, so like they know who to contact, they know their email, and like I can send it to everyone, and they can just message through it.
Send me the app, bro.
I will.
I need that app.
I will. But I found it, like a buddy of mine, or Scott, you found it, right? Scott found it for me, and it was just like I just started fucking with it, and I was like, dude, I wish I would have done this a year ago. Yeah. Because you can see before it gets to the point, like, okay, like we need to hire someone here now. Yeah, because he's like reporting to too many people are reporting to one person. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy you just mentioned that.
Well, you talked about that when we were at Alphaland, and I was hoping you would bring that back up, because I feel like that's some of our biggest growing pains, you know, as a company. Is just, I think we're all very internally driven, but then managing people is something that we need more practice and just delegation with.
And you don't want to overlap either. It's like you don't want to like have 3 powerhouse brains, right? Like almost like putting too much attention on something that could have, if you had the structure, could have been handled by one of you guys, right? Yeah. And it's almost like it creates less stress overall. Yep. It's like putting more time into that structure makes less stress and less like just confusion, or like, it's not my thing, I ain't gonna worry about it. Like that, you want that.
And then we always go to each other. Like, you know, they might report to Matt, but like Matt could be like, yo, what do you think of this? Like that's totally different, but at least all of it's going in the right channels to us. Yeah.
That and keep like listening to, testing things out and seeing, like opening those doors that you kind of end up going through, and like seeing what's gonna, maybe, you know, you don't have to always just be a strict supplement, but like kind of taking that like open-mindedness, I guess, is super important. And all, like I never thought I'd be a female brand, right? But like it's just being open to the opportunity and like taking those and seeing them through as they're opening, if that makes sense.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Awesome advice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Try everything once.
Try everything once, yeah. Except for some drugs. That's probably
I was waiting for a joke to come out of that.
That has to be
some people's minds.
The tagline for this podcast.
Everything once except for some drugs.
Yeah, that's it.
Chris, you suck at the audio things.
Was that
Does it go?
the booing?
The laugh one? He's on mute.
That was the laugh one. There you go.
That's the drums.
That's cheering.
Oh, that's cheering.
Put a little note on him here.
I know. I need to rate on it. Laugh. Cheer.
All right. Good episode.
Yeah,
that's
anything else
good.
you want to add? Anything you want to say? Are you good?
No, I'm
That was
good.
really
Thank you all for having me.
Thank you for coming, man. We appreciate it.
We never know what we're gonna talk about. It always ends up good. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. Episode number 18.
19.
19. Say goodbye. They're cheering us out, yeah.
I was doing what y'all are doing in 2 years. God damn. It's crazy. How long? Athletes 2015 we started.